This morning on Denver 7.
All right, have you evacuated out of the house?
We're trying to, yes.
Is the house on fire?
With the house, yes.
Exactly 4 months since the Marshall Fire sparked in Boulder County, we're finally hearing the 911 calls from that harrowing day and encouraging signs that communities are moving forward, thanks to our generous viewers. It's crunch time for Colorado's lawmakers. There are fewer than 2 weeks left in this year's legislative session, why tobacco sales are holding things up.
I just kind of feel like the weight is off my shoulder, and it's finally here. You know, this is a moment that I've been truly dreaming of my whole life.
It's the final day of the NFL draft, how one Colorado player's dream is coming true.
Good morning and welcome to Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Saturday morning. And let's start with some stories we're following for you this weekend. The state of Colorado is changing how you get tested for coronavirus starting today. 40 of the big public testing sites are closing, like the ones at Red Rocks Community College, Southwest Plaza, and the 16th Street Mall. But officials say there will still be 80 state-run community sites open. The state can do 26,000 tests a day, but demand is only at about 5% of that right now.
This weekend, Aurora's new urban camping ban is going into effect. Starting tomorrow, unhoused people in Aurora will no longer be allowed to camp on public property. City officials have to give people living in encampments a 72-hour notice to relocate, and this can only happen if the city has open shelter space. There's also an amendment allowing the city manager to create a policy for storing personal items from the sweeps. The city council plans to discuss the amendment during a meeting on Monday.
And today is the final day for the NFL Draft, which you can watch right here on Denver 7. Coverage starts at 10 a.m. But if you're extra eager for what to expect from today's events, you can check that out right now on thedenverchannel.com. And at 9:02, giving you a live look outside as downtown Denver is situated there in the middle of your screen from Lookout Mountain. Skies are clear, will stay mostly sunny through the day. Dry conditions statewide, and the winds, which have been extremely strong, especially yesterday afternoon, will be calmer here for the Denver area. That was a live look at Vail, but the camera has gone dark. It is sunny out to our west. And Denver right now, it's now 50 degrees out at the airport. Wind sustained from the north at 18 miles per hour, so it still will be breezy, but just not as windy as yesterday. Temperatures now, we're seeing low 50s filtering into Greeley and Fort Collins, mild into Aurora with the upper 40s now filtering in as well, with 30s off to our west into the high country. Now the winds have been strong this morning and will continue to be until at least 3 p.m. with a high wind warning out in effect across the eastern plains from Burlington out through Ray. Near Sterling and Akron, last recorded wind gusts from the north-northwest around 49 miles per hour. There's that high wind warning in place until 3 p.m. Fire danger will elevate again tomorrow over southern Colorado with the approach of our next cold front. We are looking at some much needed moisture though moving in. I'll tell you about that still to come.
The road to recovery for families of the Marshall Fire has been a long one for the past 4 months, but Coloradans have shown up for each other again and again, and today is no different. Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live now in Broomfield, and Christian, there's a special kickoff event that's going to help fire victims.
That's right, and the event starts at 11 this morning. These are all items that will soon be given away to families in need. And this is all thanks to Denver 7 Gives and Amazon, who teamed up to donate $40,000 worth of goods to A Precious Child. They're a nonprofit who helps children and families who are facing difficult challenges. And this week, our awesome news team helped restock this warehouse with much needed items for families who are impacted by the Marshall Fire. And people will be able to pick those items up starting at 11 this morning. So far, 100 families, have already signed up and will be coming to shop this morning. Even though it's been 4 months since the fire, many still have a long road to recovery.
It's really hard to process unless you've been through it, exactly what it means to lose everything. Everything the community has done has been incredibly helpful.
You worry as the mayor that you will have immediate support and then people will go away and you'll be alone, and nothing could be further from the truth. We have been surrounded by support. This is a tremendous show of support from Channel 7, from Amazon.
This center will be open on Saturdays starting today. The event today is by sign up only though, and we will be speaking to families who show up to shop today, and we'll have much more tonight at 5. Live in Broomfield, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Christian, thank you. And if you'd like to donate to our Denver 7 Gives Fund, we've made it easy. Just scan this barcode on your screen with your phone and you'll be brought right to the donation page so that you can continue to support Marshall Fire victims in the future.
And now we're taking a look back at this day 4 months ago. It was an emotional, scary and confusing time as people worked to evacuate and leave everything behind while the Marshall Fire scorched through so many neighborhoods.
And now we're hearing some of the calls that were made to 911 that day. Here's Denver 7's Rob Harris.
Yes, it's an emergency. Our house is on fire.
All right, have you evacuated out of the house?
We're trying to, yes.
Is the house on fire?
Well, the house, yeah, and the laundry room and the grass around it is on fire.
There were many thinking about how to evacuate and finding traffic at a crawl as entire towns of people tried to find safety.
911, what's the emergency?
The emergency is I'm stuck in traffic on South Boulder Road. Can't get to my home. There's no police. We're sitting ducks here. I'm leaving Centennial Peak Hospital, and we're all evacuating, but nobody's... Okay. I'm so sorry. That's okay. That's okay. You can do it.
As people fled, they thought of their loved ones and neighbors, both humans and pets.
My 11-year-old and my dogs are at home alone. We are heading into Louisville to try to get them, but I don't know if we'll be able to get to them.
Hi, I'm trying to call. We're leaving the town of Louisville, but we just remembered some of our neighbors are deaf, so I don't know if they'll see it or hear it.
Dispatch phone lines were flooded with Coloradans asking for help, but there were plenty of calls offering help too.
I know you guys are slammed, but I was actually calling to see if there's anything civilians could do to try and help you guys out.
I'm trying to get down and help with these fires. I'm a retired medic from the military.
Okay.
And I'm a level 3 firefighter.
Hey, I'm calling. Do you guys need volunteer firefighters or anything?
We do. Let me give you our fire resource contact.
That was our Rob Harris reporting, and as we've been reporting here on Denver 7, the cleanup process just began in different parts of Boulder County a few weeks ago, and today the town of Superior is meeting once again to discuss their plans. That meeting will start at 10 o'clock and it's at the Superior Way Plaza. All right, shifting gears now, it's the final day for the 2022 NFL Draft, and it's been a busy few days for Broncos country as they decide who's going to be added to the roster.
Luckily, our sports team has been all over it. Here's Broncos insider Troy Renck with this morning's Broncos Draft Report.
Listen, we know the Broncos have had some tough times, but that's all changed with Russell Wilson's arrival. But when you've had 5 straight losing seasons, you need to find an edge. And the Broncos did on Friday night in edge rusher Nick Bonito from Oklahoma. This guy knows more about angles than my geometry teacher. He's going to come in right away and be a rotational pass rusher. George Paton, he's impressed.
Just the bend, the speed, the burst, very natural. At Oklahoma, he had a lot of production. He needs to get a little stronger, but we didn't anticipate him being there, and so we're really fortunate. He'll add to our group. We'll have a very good wave with Nick, and I think it's going to be great, really good competition.
There was some hope as Friday night advanced that maybe the Broncos would end up with Trey McBride. He goes to Arizona with the 55th pick. Well, with the 80th pick, after trading with the Texans, the Broncos land their tight end, UCLA's Greg Dulcich. Dulcich told me he knew he was going to be in the NFL before he was even a teenager.
I knew I was going to be an NFL player since middle school. That was always the goal, and that was always the dream. And I've put myself every situation in my life with that in the back of my head as my driving force. And there was never a doubt in my mind I'd be getting this phone call today.
The Broncos have plenty of work to do on Saturday, the final day of the draft. They have several picks highlighted by 2 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th as the Broncos look to add depth, likely at cornerback and offensive line. Reporting from Pat Bowlen Fieldhouse, Troy Renck, Denver 7.
Well, some may call it the unofficial start of summer. Elitch's is opening to the general public today, why they say they've had a busy offseason.
And if it feels like ski season has been long this year, well, that's because it has for some resorts. We're taking a look at which lifts are closing, though, for the season this weekend.